a great player, right? I mean, he's huge for the team. I think after the game, I expect him to shake his hand and say good game and, move past way. But he threw a punch, and, at the end of the day, it's about, it's a team sport, right? So it's about, we came out here, we did our job, we won, and that's all that matters. They're a great team over there on both sides of the ball. So at the end of the day, it's all about, getting the dub.
Was there anything that led up to that? Any talk during the game or anything that happened after the game?
I mean, me just blocking him, I'm just doing my job. I played between the whistles, and after the game, he took advantage of what he did.
But you could tell he was frustrated when you were blocking him during the game?
He was frustrated, for sure frustrated.
Teammate JuJu, boy got the beats.
First of all, JuJu needed his ass whooped.
Damn.
Let's just go there. Number one.
Why does everybody say that?
Him specifically really needs his ass whooped.
What be on the road with JuJu?
Like, bro, he been needing his ass whooped for a minute. Brian Bedd's doing the work of the Lord, bro. Whoop that man ass, bro. Shout out the game.
What did JuJu do?
Bro, he's an asshole, bro.
Okay.
I heard that though.
And he is sneak this. Like, this is my thing. I'ma talk greasy to you. We gonna go right up. And when we get that one-on-one, I ain't gonna duck the smoke.
Yeah.
So whether I win or lose, it is what it is. He the type that's gonna do all the little weird, sneaky stuff, push you behind the back, go run, tell the ref. You like, bro, shut your little weird ass. Then try to be cool with you after. First of all, y'all seen the picture though?
The picture's
His
crazy.
nose crazy.
Bro, you can't be crying with your nose blood. Like, you got kids, bro.
But let's talk, man. So they upheld Brian Brandt's suspension. We all knew that. I mean, my thing is this: when you go, I understand why he appealed, because it's your money on the line. I get why he appealed, and I'm gonna talk about Zaire Franklin too. I clipped that in there, what he said. So I understand why he appealed, most definitely. But then again, my thing is this: you appealing to the same person. It's like the equivalent of, you appeal in court to get out of prison or to avoid jail time, and they give you the same fucking judge and the same jurors. Unless you got some new major evidence, it's gonna be the same result. So, but, it is what it is. I don't think he should have been suspended. A man spit on another man and didn't get suspended in Jalen Carter. So, like I said before, you gotta know it, that to the fact that, when you in Detroit, they don't want Detroit to win championships. And I posted that on Woodward Sports, but people don't understand why. They don't understand the why, and I've got into the why before, and I'll keep it simple. Detroit was a proud white city at one point, and I went over the history of the city of Detroit a number of times, okay? It was a proud white city, and even before it turned to black city, they had financial turmoil. That's how you got Albert Kobo, right? He came in as an emergency manager, and it became a black city, and they didn't like that. So they held that over, Detroit's head for a long time. And it's probably a similar story with Cleveland. It might be a similar story with Philadelphia. So that's why they have a disdain for Detroit. If it was up to them, they wouldn't even give Detroit a sports team. But at some point, Detroit was so highly populated. I think at its pinnacle, Detroit was almost around, 2 million residents. That's why you see it. Detroit is very small. People talk about the actual city, not the metropolitan, the actual city of Atlanta. Detroit is just a little bit bigger. I think maybe 5 square more miles bigger than Atlanta. The actual Atlanta, not East Point. No, the actual city. I think of Atlanta is only 139 square miles. I believe Detroit is like 144. So it's not a big city. So when you see I think about 2 million people in the city, that's why you see so many schools that's abandoned, because the population dropped so bad. A lot of people came here to get the factory job, but you know what? I'm not gonna get too much historical. But that's that's the vendetta that they have against the city of Detroit. Okay. So, so when the Pistons won the championship, it was against the will of David Stern. That's why they did all the whole shit they did to the Pistons. They didn't want them to win it. And that's the thing about sports. You know, they want the Lakers, they want the Dodgers, they want the New York teams. They want those type of people to win a championship every year because the Dallas Cowboys is because they have the Steelers, they have the fan base. They have a national fan base. They're not into creating new tradition. They into just being lazy and piggybacking off of old tradition. But, I mean, ultimately, you got to already know what I like what a lot of the players said. That, you know, Amon Ross said we had a lot of mistakes, a lot of plays we could have made. We beat ourselves. We played bad. So be it. They not using no excuses. I wouldn't want to hear them use no excuses because that would be SOL, right? But we all know they got fucked. But hopefully they are aware that on y'all championship run, if y'all get that far, hopefully y'all are aware that hopefully y'all are aware that you got to take it. So you got to snatch it out of Roger Goodell rainbow fingers. But, you know, to what Zaire Franklin said, he deserved it. And yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I remember when Andre Johnson beat up Cortland Finnegan, right? They said the receivers around the league paid his fine. You know, they paid. There was a different breed of person back then, you know, people back then. And Andre, you know, and obviously Brian Branch doesn't have a reputation of Andre Johnson. I mean, he almost was lying, to be honest. But he was a real good stand-up guy. Dre don't seem like he bothered nobody. Real humble dude, you know. One of the humble receivers. You know, the humble receiver, Mount Rushmore, gotta have Calvin, Fitzgerald, Andre Johnson on there. Because a lot of the receivers are just divas. You know, the humble receiver, Mount Rushmore, that's a good video to have for somebody. Because there ain't too many great humble receivers. You got some really good ones. Keenan McCardell was very humble, you know. But you know, Musa Muhammad was a humble guy. But you had the flamboyant guys like Joe Horn, Steve Smith, Antonio Brown, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Michael Irvin. But you know, they, you know, Brian Branch, you know, and Kirby Joseph, they might be the two most hated safeties in football. You know, Kirby Joseph was hated for playing within the rule books. They said don't hit him high, hit him low. Matt Stafford put a reputation on him. People ran with it. You know, Brian Branch is a headhunter. I mean, so is Troy Polamalu. Also Ronnie Lott. Also Sean Taylor. That's the way the safety position, you know, especially the strong safety position, is to be played. Bob Sanders. That's how it's supposed to be played. But they done pussyfied football where you can't play it in that manner no more. That's the way the game's supposed to be played. I remember we used to play to put people on the stretcher. Everybody celebrated. You know what I'm saying? It was a celebration. It's a man's sport. It's a gladiator sport. But when you let Roger Backdoria Goodell get a hand of it and his old fart owners who need to go ahead and get up out the way, this what happened. Only owner I really fuck with on that point that I know of is Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is I think the only owner that actually played. You know, if it was up to Jerry, he'll let him play old school wise. I fuck with Jerry Jones on that level. You know, but and also, you know, people say he a racist and all that, and I ain't here to debate that or confirm that. But what I will say is I ain't never heard none of his players not like him. I think Jerry's the type of guy that, you know, his players need something even after they gone. He look out for them. So everybody want to judge. They always want to judge the character of a man of what he's saying, and he may not be able to articulate the point the way he want to point. But man, really, you judge a person, especially a man, on his heart and what he do for people. And the very same people that you do for, you know what I'm saying, have, you know, this is why a lot of guys don't have they grow out of having a big heart. The very same people you do for and you break your neck for be the very same people that got something bad to say about you. You know, but that, you know, that is what it is. But yeah, Zaire Franklin said JuJu deserved to get beat on. You know, who am I to debate? He is a little asshole. He is even his response. I'll pin it in there. I'll cut it in there. Even his response was asshole. Like, and at the end of the day, you got to understand this. All the men that's watching, young men, boys is watching. You know, you a man at the end of the day. There's certain things that as a man you can't let slide. There's certain things as a man you can't let slide. That's just a motherfucking fact. There's some things that sometimes you might have to smack a nigga in the mouth. You might have to smack it. You might have to let it, you might have to check a motherfucker, pull him aside, check him. Sometimes you might have to choke a motherfucker up just to send a message like dog, don't, it's too much in our society that we train our young men to take disrespect. You a man before anything. Your respect come before anything. And when and a lot of this agenda they pushing is pushing y'all to be soft. Your respect is worth dying over. I never really understood that until I got older. But your respect as a man is worth dying over. You know, and I know it's hard for y'all to understand that. But if you don't have respect, you ain't a man. So Brian Branch, you know, his son, if he had a son or his people back home seeing that and seeing all that and this, that, and the third, like at the end of the day, bro, it was a message to JuJu and everybody else. Hey, bro, I ain't no hoe ass nigga. And they create these guidelines and rules, even in football, to make y'all weak, to make men into males, to make them weak. If y'all go back and historically look about how the world was ran, hear me out. It was an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Go back and look. And I'm pretty sure in the Bible you can find that as well too. That's what it was. You hit me, I hit you back. That was that's as old as it come. But hey, check out Detroit Lions Soft playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.
A lot of fans talk about, the Chiefs and the refs on the same team. And watching this game, even though they say the refs were for the Chiefs, which was crazy. I mean, they only called like maybe 1 or 2 penalties on the Chiefs, which were declined. But, bro, watching on TV, the one Travis Kelce pass interference, if anything, it was illegal contact. Like the ball wasn't even in the air when he fucking like hit him. It was like some of these calls, I'm like, bro, what is going on? Travis Kelce, that was not catch. But I think, did they go fast after that? They went on the ball, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Bro, yeah, it was. What do you feel like just watching the game, not seeing any flags getting thrown? Like,
honestly, like when we're in the when I'm in the game, I don't even really like this. I didn't even see like half the stuff that.
It was mainly on your defense, It was mainly
stuff that's going on. Like, I don't even see during the game. Yeah. And when after the game, I go on my phone, I see all these. Oh, this should have been a penalty. This fans complaining, but honestly, for us, like especially the way I look at it, I feel like our team looks at it is we had plenty of chances to make plays in that game to win the game. Like the last thing any team should do is blame the ref for a loss. I feel like it's never up to the referees, and you can never leave it up to them. And I think that's what some fans feel like we got robbed. I don't think we got robbed. I feel like we had plenty of plays. I had plays to make. We as a team had plenty of plays to make that we could have made that we, would have changed the game. So leaving it up to the refs, I don't think is right. They have a job to do. Could they have done a better job? Who knows? But when I'm out there, like I'm not even paying attention. I'm playing through the contact, whatever it is. And if they throw a flag, they throw a flag. But we gotta make the plays that come to us. We can't rely on the refs to